Hey, this is Bob from Dogwatch Cigar Radio.
And this is Dale, and you're watching a video review on StogieReview.com.
Excellent.
That one sounded okay.
Good morning, welcome to episode 2 of Your Questions, My Answers. I am Jerry from the StogieReview.com. And just like I promised, in episode 1, we kind of got the logistics all worked out, and I'm joined this morning by my good friend and the hardest working member of the Stogie Review, not to mention the best technical smoker I know, Mr. Walt White. How are you doing, Walt?
Great, yeah. Glad to have finally gotten this all worked out.
Yeah, we still ran into some problems, so hopefully, maybe episode 3 we'll have everything worked out. So what you smoking over there this morning?
It's a Helix Maduro. Just happened to be the mildest cigar I had for a Saturday morning.
What are you drinking anything with it?
Just a hot cup of tea.
Ooh. I am smoking a Mayorga. It's not a Maduro version, it's just a regular Habana 2000 wrapper. So, pretty good. Also with a cup of Mayorga coffee. Let's see. So, just like in episode 1, Walt and I were going to answer some of the many questions we received on the website. I just want to note that Walt and I aren't experts, so we leave the option open to be wrong, and I'm sure someone out there, if we are wrong, will correct us. So with that, Walt, why don't you get us started with our first question?
All right, first off, we have a question from Josh via instant message, and it is, love your site, guys, and the videos rock. I noticed you guys have only reviewed 1 or 2 flavored cigars. Do you guys not like flavored cigars, or you just gotten around to reviewing them more? Well, what do you think, Jerry?
Well, off the top of my head, I don't know what the 2 are. I know the 1 was the Havana Honey that my mom got me from Las Vegas. I don't know. I don't want to sound like a snob or anything like that. But some of these flavors, like CAO has, like the Eileen Dream with its mixture of Irish cream and coconut milk. I don't know. They just seem like a bit over the top for me. But I don't know. I'm more than willing to try anything. I just feel uncomfortable going to a store or placing an order for them, paying for it. I don't know. What about you?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it's pretty much the same way. I don't have a means to store flavored cigars because I really want to keep them separate, and I really just don't have much of a taste for them. I prefer the natural tobacco flavors.
Gotcha. Well, it's interesting that you talked about storing flavored cigars, because the next question comes from Charles, who used our spiffy new contact form, and I'm going to paraphrase. It's a little long email, but I'm going to try and paraphrase. Basically, he's fairly new to cigar smoking. He enjoys relaxing and a good cigar with Glenlivet. I guess that's some kind of Scotch.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So anyways, over the holidays, he was traveling to see his wife's family in Indiana, and he ended up picking up a humidor. He picked up a Don Salvatore humidor that holds about 100 smokes. And he's wondering, because he's getting a lot of conflicting info on the subject, but he wants to know, can you mix regular cigars with flavored cigars, such as the Drew Estates Java or the Acid Cuba Cuba? And he wants to know what our view is in. So what do you think? Can he store his flavored cigars with non-flavored cigars?
Well, I think if he's not going to be picky, he can store them together. But personally, I would keep them separate, just because. Well, you know how aromatic flavored cigars are. They're gonna mingle and intermix flavors with your non-flavored cigars, and I think it would really pose a problem.
Gotcha. What about, let's say, that's all he smokes is flavored cigars. Like, let's say he has his Havana Honeys, his tequila flavored cigars, his peach and grape flavored cigars, whatever. Can he store different flavored cigars with other flavored cigars? I guess that's what I'm asking.
I guess, once again, it comes down to how picky you are. If it were me and I were smoking exclusively flavored cigars, I think I would stick each flavor in a Ziploc bag and then place that Ziploc bag inside the humidor, just so you minimize the flavor transfer in between them. Because the Ziploc bag will allow some humidity transfer because it is a little porous. So your cigar shouldn't dry out, but it should help minimize that flavor exchange.
Hey, you know how much flavored cigars are going for anyways? Are they about the same price as regular non-flavored cigars?
I know my future father-in-law smokes flavored cigars, but he's not into the handmaids, and he can buy a pack of cigars for less than I can buy one. So I know they're relatively inexpensive if you buy machine maids.
Gotcha. All right. Well, moving on. Also, I guess staying on the same track. Well, moving on to humidors. Oh, you know what? First, let me thank Charles there for using our Spiffy New contact form. It's probably the quickest and easiest way to get a hold of us. If when you're on StillGuardReview.com, above our logo at the top of the page, you'll see a little link to the contact form, and fill it out, send it our way, and we'll either answer it personally, answer it in a future episode, or both. So, but speaking of humidors, I got a message. We got a message from the contact form. It was more of not really a question, but more of a hint, and this came from Stephen B. And he wanted to pass on a suggestion about using one of those Oregon weather scientific station things where they can monitor 3 different sensors. But he said he picked up the station and 3 wireless sensors for under $100, so he could monitor the temperature and humidity in all his humidors. So I was just wondering, Walt, do you use any kind of wireless gizmo gadget to monitor your humidor, or I guess in your case your cooladors?
No, I don't. I use just a cheap Walmart hygrometer. The reason I stay away from the weather station type units is just because my coolers have become my primary source for cigars, so I'm in and out of there all the time. There's really no need to set up a wireless station, because I can see that being a benefit if you were allowing your cigars to age in there for quite a while, so that you didn't crack the lid every so often. But since I'm in and out of there so often, I really didn't find the need to set up a weather station like that.
Gotcha. I actually like the idea. I don't know, maybe it's just the whole wireless gizmo, the gizmo guy in me, but I don't know. I mean, I just have my one big humidor and then a couple small boxes that I've converted, but I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool. You know what would be actually really cool is there was like some kind of computer program with a USB sensor, and you could do wireless sensors in it and have it all on your computer. I don't know. Anyways, but that's just my opinion. I think it was a pretty cool idea. I don't have a coolador. I guess you're right. It would be the perfect solution if you're looking at long-term type storage. So, let's see. Where do we go from here, Walt?
Well, we got another question from JR, once again from the contact form, and it's more directed towards you. He's asking what you're using for your music.
Well, so why don't you give us an idea of what you're using?
I'm assuming he means for my videos. All right, gotcha. Same page.
Yep.
The music is, I'm going to butcher the name here, but the name of the song is called Oi Parle Francaise, and it's by this guy named Campai Segundo. I don't know, I have this little playlist that I listen to when I smoke cigars that contains a lot of Afro-Cuban stuff like Campai Segundo and Buena Vista Social Club, as well as other things like Michael Bublé and Harry Belafonte, Frank Sinatra. So that's basically what I do. Do you have a playlist you use, Walt, that you listen to when you're smoking?
Not really a playlist. I'm big into Last FM, the internet radio system. So really, that's what I put on when I want to smoke a cigar and listen to some music. If that's not working out for me, it's always the current episode of the Dog Watch Social Club that I've got on.
Nice plug there.
Yeah.
What other? Speaking of podcasts, what other podcasts do you listen to? I mean, it doesn't have to be cigar related, but other cigar podcasts or other podcasts in general do you listen to?
Dog Watch Social Club is the big one, but every once in a while I'll listen to Cigar Nation. And a while ago I mixed that up. I used to listen to Cigar Nation, but the episodes are few and far between. I'll listen to Blow and Smoke every once in a while now, but that's about it. I really don't listen to very many podcasts outside of cigar related.
Really, I'm a podcast junkie. I tell you what, I listen to the same ones you do. Dog Watch Social Club, top of the list. I like Blow and Smoke, but sometimes it could be a little too localized for me. I actually started listening to podcasts using Cigar Nation, but then, like you said, it kind came few and far between. But I just other stuff like This Week in Tech and Windows Weekly and things like that. I guess it's the geek in me, so who knows. But all right, so let me ask you this. Let me read this email that we got from Louie, and this kind of has to do with your review you did on the Consuega you did a while back. I'm going to paraphrase here because it's a pretty long email. Let's see, he's actually hooked on our video, so that's a good thing. But he wanted to get our opinion on some of the JR cigars. I guess the alternative line. He says he has his eye on the Hoya Pyramids. They come in a bundle of 20 for about $30. I guess they're Cuban alternatives. And he said he watched your review on the Consuega and thought they being the Hoya Pyramids, would be a better for him since someone highly recommended them. So he wanted to know, before he tries the Consuega, he wanted to know our opinion on the Hoya Pyramids or the JR alternative lines in general. Have you ever tried any of the alternative brands from JR or any of the, I guess, house brands from different retailers?
Well, when I first started smoking cigars, I was pretty big into the JR alternatives, and the Cuban alternatives were the ones that I was actually buying. And I made it a point to look up what I was buying, and I bought 2 bundles of the H. Upmann Special Coronas. They're 46 by 5.62, and Romeo and Julieta Club King, another 46 by 5.62. It's been quite a while since I've had either one of them, and I went through all 3 bundles since then. But I don't remember it being a very bad cigar.
I was at my local JR store just yesterday on Friday for lunch, and I actually saw these cigars that he was talking about. And you know what? He's right. They do look damn good, even up close in person. I've had a few of the alternatives. I haven't had any of the Cuban alternatives. I had the alternatives to the El Rey del Mundo. Well, I guess that is a Cuban alternative, but the El Rey del Mundo and the Partagas #1. But from what I hear, unless you're dealing with the different wrappers with the alternatives, like they have a section for Dominican, Honduran, Nicaraguan, they don't really change all that much. It's pretty much the same binder, same filler, just a different wrapper. So the mix is usually the same. But I don't know. My experience with them are kind of limited. So I don't know. Maybe he'll take the time. He'll buy them. Louis will buy them and give him a try and tell us what he thinks. So it'll be interesting to hear from him. Moving right along, we got a contact form from Michael, and this had to do with after your Pure Air Febreze experiment that you did. And let me just read you the whole email because I think you got to listen to the whole thing to get a good grasp of what he's talking about. He says, I've got a question you guys could probably answer. First, here's my situation. I have a living room which opens up to my dining room, and I'd say both of these rooms together add about 600 square feet, give or take. I want to start smoking a cigar in my living room from every now and then, but I need some type of air purifier or smoke eliminator that can both remove the excess smoke from the area and any stale odors left behind on walls and cloth furniture. He said he's literally spent hours doing research and searching forums like Cigar Aficionado, Brothers of the Leaf, Cigar Weekly, but want to find out our opinion. So he wants to know what recommendations we could give him or what he needs to purchase for less than $400 so he can smoke in his living room from time to time. What do you think, Walt?
Well, I think it's a little tough just because his living room and dining room are adjoined, and I think you're going to get a lot of smoke transfer in between the two. But what I do is I have a Honeywell air purifier. It runs about $200 at a local hardware store, and I run that. I have one of those odor eliminator candles, and after I'm done smoking, I spray the room down with Pure Air, and it does a pretty good job. The only difference in my case is that I'm in a sort of a half-finished basement, if you will. So I can mount my air purifier directly to the floor joist above me, so it collects all the smoke that's rising into the air. With him, it's going to be less effective because it's down on the ground, unless he can get it up in the air. And it all depends on his furniture too. I mean, if he's got like a thick nap carpet and cloth furniture, he's really got to worry about, lingering smoke odors. But definitely give pure air a try. And if you have the option, crack a window and get a fan running just to help circulate air and get the stale smoke out of the house. And in addition to that, I got an email pending asking Mark Neff's permission to post a winter smoking guide for cigar smokers. And I thought it was real interesting, so once Mark gives me the go-ahead, I'm going to post that on Stogie Review. This way you can, listen to what I have to say and then look at what Mark's got to say and then, take the best points from both, and hopefully that'll lead to good results.
Yeah, Mark's full of all kinds of... He did the one with smoking in your car, right? He did a little thing about smoking,
and then
smoking in your car.
I follow that to a T, and really don't have any smoking smell in my car. It's great.
Gotcha. I'm a lazy. I'm so lazy because, I know a lot of people say, as soon as you're done smoking, you should empty your ashtray out so it doesn't pollute the room and stuff like that. But I just let mine build up until it overflows onto my desk. But your pure air Febreze comparison really helped me out because with my wife being pregnant, we were big Febreze users. But then the Febreze started making her. The smell of Febreze started making her sick. So hopefully the pure air won't do that. Let's see.
I was amazed that the difference is huge. I mean, once you use pure air, you really notice how much perfume is in Febreze as compared to pure air as an odor eliminator.
Gotcha. It looks like we kind of skipped a question here, Walt. So I'll go back and read it. Let's see. It comes from Jeremy, and Jeremy is a member of a cigar forum called Cigar Utopia. And I guess they have their little version of a blind taste test, where you take off the bands and mail it to another member and see, what the person thinks or if the person can identify the cigars without the bands. Have you ever participated in any of these? What's your experience been?
Yeah, I participated in one on the Club Stogie forums, and it was a lot of fun. There was maybe 15 to 20 people involved. It was real informative, a lot of fun, and in fact, you and Brian even talked about, mailing one another, just unbanded cigars, just to have a little fun on the website as just kind of something as a change,
Yeah, definitely. You're right. When I first joined Club Stogie, I think one of the first passes I joined was the blind taste test, I guess. So I'm actually in one on another forums called Stogie Time. So I actually got those cigars resting in my humidor right now. But I think it's kind of amazing how much difference the cigar band makes. I mean, I think I'm pretty good at describing the flavor profile and stuff. But when it comes time to reveal what the cigar actually was, man, I'm just always a little surprised that it wasn't even on my radar what it could have been. So let's see. Was that the last question, or do we got one more?
No, I think we got one more. That's here we go. It's from numerous people, numerous different ways, and it reads, what else have we been smoking aside from the particular cigars like the Gran Habano Tres Singlos, the Carlos Torano Noventa, Rocky Patel Edge Light, Cuesta Rey Centrinos, and the Camiguan line. So, have you tried any of these cigars? And what else have you been smoking?
I can honestly say I haven't tried any of those. Here's the problem with where I smoke. I do most of my smoking at work, and a block and a half away is my JR Cigars, and unfortunately, JR Cigars only carry cigars made by General Cigars or distributed by General Cigars. So, some of these new stuff, they don't carry any Rocky Patels, the Cabawan line, anything like that. But I'm not even sure if the Carlos Ferrano Noventas are even out yet. I don't know. I haven't looked. But yeah, I haven't tried any of those yet, and I guess I got to add some of those to my list because it seems like everybody's talking about the Cabawan line. As far as what else I've been smoking, outside of what I review on the site, I really don't stray from my rotation. It's usually made up of the Partagas No. 8 Maduro, the Rocky Patel Connecticut, Partagas Black Label, Tyranno Signature. So, I mean, really, like I said, you know, outside of reviews, I just normally stick to my rotation. Nothing exciting. What about you, Walt?
I've heard of all of these cigars, but unfortunately, I haven't had any. And I can kick myself. Yesterday, I was at my local cigar shop, JM Cigars, and I asked the owner, Jeff, about the Camiguan line because he had, you know, like 10 boxes in the front of the humidor, and I completely forgot about the email, and I didn't pick them up.
You know what? Looking back at this list, you know what? I do have a couple of the Edge and the Edge Light resting in my humidor that I picked up in Vegas, but I haven't actually smoked yet. So I do have one of those on the list.
Well, I have a couple of Rocky Patel Edge missiles. I haven't had those yet, but I haven't had the Edge Light, or even seen them at any cigar shop that I go to.
You know, the big thing JR Cigars is pushing. You know, going back a little bit to the alternative thing. You know, the two new alternative lines that they're really pushing hard are the Rocky Patel Edge Maduro and the Gerhardt G3, I believe. So they have their own little alternative of those, and I know they're pimping those hard to get people to buy those. I don't know. I haven't had the need to try it yet.
No, it's technically it's the Rocky. It's not Rocky Patel alternative. And the only reason I say that is because Lou Rothman just really seems to go out of his way to batter Rocky Patel. I mean, did you read the articles where he's claiming that the vintage 90 and 92 line are a bunch of baloney, and he even came up with the Fleur de Baloney line. I think it was just a slap in the face, you know?
You know, see, this is why Walt's the working member of the Stogie.com, because, you know, he's up to date on everything. He reads everything, man. You know, I subscribe to Cigar Aficionado and Cigar Magazine, but you know what? I think I'm like a year behind on reading. So whereas Walt, you know, he's more involved on the forums. I'm just a lazy bastard of the site, you know. So, well, you know, I guess that's about wraps it up for us. I don't think we have any more questions. I know we got a lot, but I didn't want to make episode 2 that long. So I don't know. How often do you think we should do this? Do you think we should do it once a month, every other week, or just wait until we have enough questions to do a show? Or what do you think? Play it by ear?
Well, I think if we can get the technical difficulties ironed out, you know, I think maybe we could do this once every other week. You know, it's a good time, and it's fun to get away from the norm of, you know, technically smoking cigars or just sticking to a review so constantly, you know.
Right. Well, what do you think? What do you think of our video reviews? I mean, do you enjoy doing them? I know it's one of the things I look forward to once a week. You know, putting out a new video. You probably saw my newest video where I almost caught my house on fire lighting up that Portuguese cigar I got.
Yeah, I was glad that stinky ashtray paid for itself.
Hey man, you know, I was really scared there for a little while. You know, that flame just kept getting bigger and bigger. I'm like, oh shit, you know, what am I gonna do? But luckily, the stinky cigar ashtray held up and contained the fire for me. But yeah, I think you're right. I think once we get all the technical difficulties worked out, and I mean the questions seem to be coming in at a pretty regular rate, so I don't see why we can't do this every other week. But all right, with that, Walt, why don't you take us out and say goodbye to all the people and close us out here?
Well, that should be fairly simple. You know, once again, thanks for watching our videos. We appreciate the email that keeps us going.
Real quick, did I put that in the note that you were going to do the closing?
You know what? It's on the last page.
Okay.
Yeah, it's there. I just wasn't prepared.
I didn't want to. I wanted to make sure I didn't take you by surprise. Like, what the hell is Jerry doing? All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. All right, take 2. Start over. Yeah.
Well, anyway, you know, we really appreciate the emails. Keep them coming, and I just want to take a moment to say thank you for making the Stogie Review video reviews such a big success. You know, and until next time, thanks for watching, guys.
Oui, parler français. Voy a trabajar. Oui, parler français. Hay que cosechar. Oui, parler français. Para alimentar. Oui, parler français. Oui, parler français. Oui, parler français. Dímela, Salombi, buen monsieur. Bonsoir, messieurs.